in and do a small video. I don't know if anybody's going to come in and say hi or anything, or want to come in and say what's going on or anything like that for tonight. Today is February 28th, 2026. Um, like I said today, with the video that I posted before, I did a video basically on, how excessive force and pretty much police brutality and things like that. And I was actually looking up some information from my friend of mine that um, the police that actually did that to him and everything, the officers are actually going to get in trouble for this because of the fact that it was actually police misconduct for falsely accusing this person, and also um, telling the judge and all them people that do all the court stuff, basically stating that he committed these two crimes, these heinous misdemeanor crimes, when honestly they were actually false. So that's police misconduct, and also the judge and everything that dismissed the case and so on, and with the charges and so on. Um, it's going to look very disgusting for Judge Stahl. I think it was, yes, Judge Stahl, about the situation where he did the right thing on actually dismissing those two charges on this person and just giving the person something small to just take care of. There wasn't no anything like that, and this is what I'm talking about. These cops are police misconduct, and these cops are getting away with lies and police reports and filing and accusing people. This is why I want to help this person out, because it's very, very wrong that people should not be doing false things on people's lives, especially on someone's civilian's reputation. Now, when it comes to, like I said, about Jeff Horvat, Scott Horvat, Ryan Horvat, and all, they're all family. Michael Horvat, they're all family. They're all blood related. This is what happens with blood related family. They think they can go and fuck with somebody and think things can happen, but when it comes back and bites you in the ass and don't fucking understand how wrong it is to sit there and fuck with somebody because of the fact someone's telling the truth. When somebody tells the truth, that's putting the true news out. It's not lying, saying that this person was drinking while he was on the job, and he could just do whatever he wants because he's an officer and he could drink and drive and get away with it. No, laws apply to everybody. Laws apply to everybody. And I'm talking about applied to everybody. Officers, just like, for example, my friend came out and told me this situation where he was actually in Clark, New Jersey. He was driving somewhere, going somewhere, and proceeding, I think, on Westfield Avenue over there by TD Bank and some kind of road over there in Clark. And he was just driving. The cop came out, went up to the traffic light, made a left, obeyed the laws there. But when it came up to the traffic light, turned out there was a no, do not turn on red sign. Now, when it comes down to police officers and civilians and people that drive with licenses, any person that drives in a vehicle, it doesn't matter if you're a cop, a security guard, or an FBI agent, or whatever, you guys got to obey the laws. That's what the ordinance is for. When it says do not turn on red, that means you cannot turn on red. That's an ordinance. You get a ticket for that if you get stopped, and then you get a couple points possibly on your license. I don't know for sure, but it's kind of wrong that this cop went and did what they did. He went around, called the township to let the police department know that your officer that came and left the precinct practically went through a do not turn on red. Sure enough, I guess the officer did get in trouble because he got a call back about it, that it was actually true that he actually got caught and he got in trouble for it. So, all laws apply, just like being on his cell phones. These cops want to drive around in their fucking cruisers and talk on cell phones and text messages on cell phones. But half of the time what happens is he text messages on the road and goes and does his business. Here's a percentage he's on his phone. He's going to crash his fucking cruise into somebody because he's not paying attention. How many videos that are on YouTube and on Facebook and all over the internet where cops were on their car and their thing, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. It's very disturbing how these cops can just drive around and be on their phones or whatever, or talking to family members while they're on duty, and they're putting other people at risk. But there's laws out there stating that you can't be talking on your cell phone or texting on your cell phone, but they can fucking do it. They're breaking their own laws, so they think they're above the law. Now, when it comes down to this family, the Horvath family in Woodbridge and Edison, they think they can just go and fuck with civilians' background. They think they can go and do what they want to people. And all I'm trying to help is my friend out because he definitely needs the help. He definitely needs the truth be told. And falsely accusing this person with 2 misdemeanor charges, excuse me, and falsely accusing him with 2 misdemeanor charges that could have put him up to a year in prison if he was actually indicted for them. It would have been. I'm sorry about this, Gothic Girl. It's a live. It's a live stream, basically telling the truth about what certain towns are doing to people, and basically, cops think they could just accuse people, and but these charges would have sticked on this person's record, and it would have been up to 12 months in prison. So 6 months per misdemeanor charge, so it would have been 12 months, so that would have been a year, and then it would have been stuck on his criminal record. Now, it's getting ridiculous with these fucking cops. They think they could just go and play with people's background, and they think, oh, I'm there. Because this is what basically happened. The person was out there doing free speech, minding his own business, basically saying fuck the police on a piece of cardboard. He was standing outside minding his own business, and these officers came to harass him and intimidate him and fuck with him, and basically then he got charged with resisting arrest and obstruction when there was no charges being against him because he didn't do anything. He was mentally ill. He went through a lot of stuff. This is what happens. He went through a lot of things. He mentally hit himself with the GoPro stick or whatever it was that he was using. Yeah, that's a violation of the amendment number 1. You're absolutely right. And now, and this is what I'm trying to explain too, and these cops, they're saying that they didn't violate the First Amendment, but they did. So this is what I'm trying to explain. These cops got away with it. This is why I'm hoping right now to help him out with a good attorney where I can get him to get something going with this township and go after the police officers for falsely accusing him. I think calling up a board of some kind of board of services in Newark. I'm going to give him the telephone number and email so they can contact the Newark District Court or the place, and they're going to have to do a complaint against these officers that actually have officers from Newark or investigators in Newark, what's it called, Internal Affairs, come to Woodbridge Township to have to investigate the actual crimes that they're actually doing on police misconduct. So I agree with you about that, Gothic Girl. I do agree that it was a violation of the First Amendment, yes. But what I found out also, what he had a warrant. So basically, him standing outside, doing his legal right, it doesn't matter. He had a warrant. They still went and did what they did to him. But now accusing him and saying that he resisted arrest and also obstruction for saying something, I think was like, "Oh, I do not answer any questions." That's not considered obstruction. That's pretty much being a peaceful protest and letting the cops know that, hey, I'm not committing no crime. I don't have to give you my ID or anything like that to give to the information to them because they're out there doing something legal. So I do agree with you about that. But these cops are really fucked up. This is why everybody has to record. Everybody has to watch themselves. Make sure their phone's charged. Make sure if they have any GoPros or cameras. You got to make sure you're recording everything. This is what's going on with these cops. These cops are police brutality as well as... I'm going to tell you something right now after what happened. I'm not trying to get into this because I'm not trying to get into it, but seeing what's going on, and I'm not trying to get into the politics because it's but with Donald Trump bombing with Israel to Iran, and the way the world's going now with possible nuclear weapons involved, we don't know how the world's going to be. With all this violence that's going on in our countries, bombing each other and fighting over oil and fighting over things, it's ridiculous. But let me get back to the local news, and I do apologize, Gothic Girl. But yeah, it's very, very wrong with these cops. It's Woodbridge Township Police Department. The mayor is John McCormack, is the mayor, what I've heard from him. And the officers that are given the problem is, like I said, this officer that was giving this kid a problem, he was actually there at the incident when he had a mental breakdown. The police officers wanted to take him to the mental hospital or psychological hospital, whatever, and not the paramedics because he had a warrant. Um, it's very disgusting the way everything is. It really, really is. You American people out there, you're paying your taxes, you're paying for your dues. You know, you're paying for these officers to do their fucking job, and this is what they do to us Americans. Just like the ICE agents out there, what they're doing to innocent people, they're killing, shooting. You know, it's wrong. It's very fucking wrong. Um, and I'm going to tell you something, it's very disgraceful because there shouldn't be no reason for anybody to kill anybody, especially Eric Chauvin. He's going to be out of prison, I think, sometime soon because of him killing George Floyd. There's no reason for anybody to be killing George Floyd knowing, yeah, maybe he was under drugs, maybe whatever situation, I don't know. I can't really say, but it's just very wrong that a officer could sit here. Yeah, I'm against police brutality too. I do not like it. I do not like liars. I don't like say. How you doing, Gothic girl? How you doing? Um, you know these cops. You know they are police brutality on every day. They're doing it every day. I mean, it could be you, it could be your grandfather, it could be your grandmother, it could be anybody trying to accuse somebody of a crime. And how many cops out there are putting innocent people behind bars for murders, um, weapons charges and stuff, or saying that they brandished something at somebody and it never happened and they had to do 12 months of time for something that they didn't commit. And it was the next town over from Woodbridge, Rawley Township. Yeah, it's fucked up. Well, how can somebody get arrested and get put behind bars for 2 or 3 hours, like this person was telling me, and sitting here for 2 hours locked up in a jail cell, and on top of that, you know, being accused of a crime that never been committed? It's disgusting. It's very disgusting. Police brutality is getting worse. It's definitely getting worse. And like I said, accusing civilians of crimes that they haven't committed. And this is Woodbridge Township, New Jersey, by the way, as well as Edison Township. Does the same thing because they're all family. There's family members that are linked to these two police departments. Last family members are called Horvats. They're the Horvat cops. These are the ones they think they're big and bad, and they think they could just do what they want to you, and stuff like that. But this is what I want everybody to know. If you ever come across, and I mean this right now, you come across a Horvat cop, Jeff Horvat, Scott Horvat, or Michael Horvat in Edison Township or Woodbridge Township, I would make sure when you do get pulled over, make sure you record yourself. Make sure you got your cell phone and recording the incident and asking the badge number and name of the officer to have it recommended and recorded as the docket, and having on record, as well as making sure you get the supervisor to come out higher than them, because you want to make sure that you're not getting a ticket for something that you haven't committed or haven't done because they're beginning of quota or the end of the month of quota. You want to make sure because these cops are doing it as well as other cops. But these particular cops, their family, sometimes they could work around the police encounterment. They could do a lot of stuff, and they can get other cops to do their job to go after somebody and not get in trouble for it. So this is why you got to understand. For example, Jeff Horvath could turn around and say, you know, this person is bad or whatever, and they might just get, say, Thompson or Officer Egan to do this person, get this person, and get this person. And Jeff is all behind it because he's a detective slash patrolman. He can just think he can just do what he wants and gets these other officers, Egan, Thompson, Aftermath, Jim Casey, Jim Carey. He can get all these other people to do his work. This is why you got to understand, you got to make sure that you're recording this and making sure you got evidence against these officers. So that's considered police misconduct when people are doing other things for other people and they're protecting themselves and kissing each other's ass. This is what causes problems in the police predicament. This is why we got to stop police brutality, excessive force, and we got to stop the fucking police corruption. This is what we need to do, is stop this shit. The police is getting out of control. This person's having bad problems with these cops in Woodbridge and Edison because of what they're fucking doing to him. Because of the fact that I'm sitting here helping him out with the truth on YouTube. This is the reason why things are happening. That's not my problem. My whole problem that has to be done is the truth. The truth needs to be told. When a cop is the detective could do a lot of fucking work to somebody's life. He could turn around, Jeff Horvath could turn around and ruin this person's life because of the fact that I'm helping him tell the truth, putting YouTube and telling the truth about what these officers are doing. They could sit here and ruin his life. Put a crime on him that could end his life and have him in prison for 35 years to life because of the fact this fucking cop and his mother also, like I'm going to explain to you about this too, because it is very disgusting. How would a 77-year-old woman, as a mother, own a cop as a son, two sons actually, but one of them covered his mother's threat against this civilian, threatening him with his life, saying that I will get my sons after you. Now, what in the right mind that Joanne Horvath, that's 77 years old, could sit there and accuse a civilian and have her son apologize for her fucking actions? Why would you have your 37-year-old son that was born in June of 88 sit there and take an apology for you when you should have been the one to apologize for your own actions? You know why? Do you want to know why, the real truth? Why she didn't want to apologize and let him apologize? So there wouldn't be a lawsuit against Joanne Horvath. That's what that was. That's disgusting. I threatened somebody, somebody threatened somebody, you apologize to them. That person, you apologize. You don't sit there and let someone else cover your ass because you don't want to have a lawsuit in court because of what you fucking did. That's wrong. And this person is scared out of his wits and scared out of his mind because of everything that this woman had to do. It was put trauma, as well as these officers, Officer Thompson and Officer Egan, and all these other officers that were there that arrested him for something that he was legally doing on a public easement. Who in the fucking right mind sits there and traumatizes this person even more with police brutality as well as excessive force? 5 fucking cops slamming against this person on the fucking ground and his face in the dirt because of the fact these cops are pissed the fuck off because of the cops getting upset and mad because somebody was out there doing fuck the police. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. No reason for anybody to be fucking doing shit like that to anybody. No one in the right mind. And then Superman Jeff Horvath had to show up afterwards. That's what my friend was telling me. Why did he show up in his cruiser deflecting traffic for? Because he's the one that brought these motherfuckers out here to attack him. There's an 80 to 90% chance that it did happen. And this is against police brutality. I'm against it too. I'm a little bit more pissed off because this innocent person should not have to deal with fucking cops and family doing things to innocent people because of the fact that my friend told me that there was an incident with the neighbor. That a neighbor came at him and he kept telling him back the fuck up. He had his taser with him to defend himself. And then this guy would almost got tased and the cops were shown in public and, you know, the whole works. It's all bullshit. You cops are a lying sack of shit in Woodbridge Township, New Jersey. You're a sack of shit. Edison is a little bit more better but there's still precautions that need to be taken. Point out blank. Woodbridge cops are lying sacks of shit. They are. They're a sack of shit. Big, big sack of testicles. That's what they are. They ain't worth a fucking thing. This is why people got to realize you want to sit there and accuse somebody, and I definitely know for a fact that you're doing it to him. I already could feel that. I could sense it. Totally off the bat, I could sense that. A cop ruining someone's background because of the fact that they don't want the reputation to be ruined. But now you're ruining his reputation because me as a civilian here, as a good person, helping this gentleman out. We all have to stick together. We all have to work together. Cops are dirty, and all I gotta say is Woodbridge Township, go fuck yourself. Go fuck the police in Woodbridge. Fuck the police. This is what I gotta say. And I'm doing it for my friend because he deserves it. This is free speech, free press. I don't like the disrespect that cops are doing to this poor person at all. And it's wrong. Very, very wrong. Do the right thing. Do your fucking job. Don't sit there and harass him and intimidate him or punish him or burn him because of the fact of the truth is being told. People in this community in Woodbridge Township, Hunter Lane, Fleetwood Drive, all those people out there need to hear it. And if they don't have a YouTube channel and other people are friends with these people that are listening, they need to know about what the fuck's going on. And also a punk named Manny Santiago harassing and going at somebody because, oh, you can't park there. Come on. This stuff's got to stop. People got to stop bullying people. I don't care if you're a cop. Don't power trip. Do not power trip on people. It's the worst thing to fucking do. You're going to get yourself into trouble. And when you get yourself into trouble, you lose your job, you lose your qualified immunity, you lose your fucking pension, you lose your health insurance, you lose everything. You cannot be a cop no more. There's a law out there in New Jersey State, and you cannot be a cop anymore after you get fired from a police department. Sometimes cops do get rehired because they do lie on their resume. And people cover for other people. Disgusting. But everyone have a